Now, when you hear the term feel at home, one thing that comes to your mind is what? Feel at home. In this show, we are going to be talking about one of the biggest industry in the world. One industry that has continued to cross borders from the days of Isakaba to Baby Police, to Sophia in London, down to Rattlesnake, down to the King of Boys, and to the Wedding Party, Far From Home, and one of our titles which have a billion naira to its name, A Tribe Called Judah. In this show, we are simply going to be talking about your favorite and your worst Nollywood movies. Now, talking about crossing borders, the movie we are going to be reviewing today has featured an amazing woman that has continued to conquer our industry, but this time has crossed borders into the Nollywood industry using an evergreen element, water, and Garri. In the studio today, I have an amazing lady with me whose favorite meal is Garri.
I came to your studio, and the thing you gave me was Garri, water and Garri to drink.
And she has a whole lot to say about the title, Water and Garri.
People say there's no place like home. There's no place on earth that can make me happy.
We are going to be kicking off with the exciting part people have been talking about,
Okay.
which is the cinematography of this movie.
Operation.
Because that is one of the most exciting things about this movie, this cinematography. Every frame, especially the first scene, every frame was fantastic. Every frame was just telling this, giving us this art. I know the costume, the set design, and the lighting played a big role in making sure that the cinematography works out perfectly. But what do you have to say about that exciting part before we go into the story?
Well, I don't. The cinematography is awesome. When I was watching the film, I kind of took some notes. The first thing I actually wrote was the race. The beginning thing where the guy was running, though we don't know who the guy is, we don't know the name of the guy, but he was running and the camera was just moving with him. It was a beautiful and cinematic movement. The angle it was shot was beautiful. The shot itself was nice, as in having this very long shot, it's kind of a wide, like you could see the buildings around and the guy alone running. It's beautiful, it's cinematic. All the shots in the film, like you're saying, let's start off with the cinematography aspect of it. All the shots.
This one you're saying we should start with. Is it that you have something against him?
No, I don't have anything against the shot. I only have.
No, I'm talking about the movie now.
No, before we go to the main movie, we're talking about the cinematography. So the cinematography is beautiful. Like I said, that was the first thing I wrote. The gunshot, everything was just working, but it wasn't telling the story. That was the only aspect I didn't like about the cinematography. Every shot you take in the film, every single shot, a close-up, a wide, a medium shot, or any shot you're taking, should tell the story. There should be a reason why you're taking that particular shot. Just like there is a reason for every scene, every line, every action, every word, every expression, all telling the story.
So you're saying is it water and Garri or water and Garri?
Water and Garri. Anyone you want to water and Garri. In our pidgin English, water and Garri.
Water and Garri now you are saying it had a beautiful shot, but this beautiful shot
on camera, it was beautiful.
On screen, it was beautiful.
On screen rather, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
The color.
But it wasn't making sense.
The color was, but the shots weren't telling the story. That's the only aspect. It was a beautiful shot. It's just like you go to snap a picture, or let me use one of the pictures in your. This is a beautiful shot. This is a beautiful shot that was taken. But there is a reason the photographer took this shot, and if you tell, you'll be able to interpret. Okay, what's this shot talking about? It's not just the graphics you are looking at. You are looking at the story. What is the story behind these shots? That is the same thing with film. There's a close-up, there is a medium, there is a wide, there is an established, there is a master. Why are we using this master shot for this scene? It was a beautiful one, with the color, with the mood, the tone, everything. But it's not telling the story.
Yeah, again.
I'm not talking about just that first scene. That first scene might be telling us about the race. It's beautiful, but every other shot in the film sometimes they weren't telling the story. So you're like, okay, why are they using this close up? It's a beautiful close up, but why are they using it? You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I understand clearly what you are trying to say, because every shot is meant to tell a story, actually. And like you said, I'm not trying to water down the efforts of.
I'm not watching that.
No. I'm not trying
like I said, it's a bit. I'm only saying that. Okay, let me put it this way now to be nice. Some of the shots,
okay,
weren't telling the story. Some were okay.
Somewhere. So what we're saying right now is that the shots were beautiful, but most of the shots used in Water and Garri were not meaningful.
I'm coming to. I'm still come. Don't put the word meaningful. Yes, let's.
Okay. So I'm sure you can't wait for us to dive into the main part, which is the storytelling. So while watching the film, I was like, I'm not trying, like I said, I'm not watching down the effort of anybody, but when they sat down to watch the final cut or the director's cut, is it that we are the audience? Because now
we're not putting into consideration or what?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, is it that because I'm trying to like, is it that I'm not really getting the information, or is me I'm not really understanding where they are coming from?
Okay, I don't know.
I'm trying to put this in a very
palatable way.
Exactly, so that
to make it sound sweet. We are not actually trying to paint something bad or paint something good. That's not what we are doing here. We're just trying to analyze. Okay, based on our little knowledge, let me put it that way. Like you said, you're a filmmaker. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a film director and an actor. A young filmmaker. Let's put it. I've not really shot one very big and mighty something, but we've gone through a series of trainings to let us know what is a good story telling technique should look like, or should feel like, or should tell the audience. And one thing about the Water and Garri is actually not relatable. There are lots of things that is not relatable to the time we're in right now. Like, I'm not getting anything from it. I don't know where the story is going to. As at 38 minutes into the film, I couldn't grasp what exactly the story was talking about. I'm not trying to say when they were doing screening, they didn't sit down to say, okay, is this thing good to go? I don't know the mindset of the director.
I'm trying to understand it.
When I watch films,
I'm trying to put myself in the position of the director now, or in the position of the producer. I see that they enjoyed, like they.
I don't know. I can't tell. But one thing is, when I'm watching a film and I see a scene, in my head, like, okay, what was the director thinking? Why did he decide to direct it this way? What was his intention? When he was probably doing his treatment, he had a picture, a visual representation of what he wants to do, which is his visual grammar for the film. So what was his picture while directing it? So now in Water and Garri, there were some things like, okay, what was the director thinking? Because it wasn't tallying with the story that was painted from the beginning.
Exactly.
From the beginning, we got the story of
just like a scattered puzzle.
Exactly. We got the story of a girl who probably lost a younger brother, and the killer of the younger brother was caught and was also killed. And then, because of the whole trauma, she traveled out of the country to the US and started her life as a filmmaker that she had. In fact, why did she want to become a filmmaker or a fashion designer? A fashion designer and a celebrity sort of a thing. I still do not know in the story anyway what motivated her to become that. But her motivation to leave the country was the fact that her brother died.
No, was the fact that Jemima brother,
to leave her country, own country, not US
which was,
now. Which was the death of her younger brother.
What was the name of the country again?
East side or something like that.
To leave East side
to US. That was her motivation. Now coming back, she didn't want to come back because she didn't want to come and face the trauma. That's what I got when I was watching the film. But something made her come back, which is Stephanie, rather. Yeah. Stephanie's younger brother died.
Played by Jemima.
Exactly. So she came down. And in the twist of the story, I don't know if actually it's the climax of it, or I don't know. There was no emotional arc to now build us. Like, there was nothing. I'm sorry for going, but there was, I couldn't pick the arc. Okay, this is where it's graduating from, and then falling, and then there was nothing like that. So the story was scattered.
Every tweet, it's I don't really know.
I'm trying to understand.
Every message that every tweet I've read regarding Water and Garri, it's everybody have been complaining about this story.
Well, yes, everybody's complaining. Me, from my own angle, I try to picture the story for the director or for the producer. Okay, this is what they are trying to tell. But the thing is, they didn't tell it very well. Visually, it wasn't good. They're just trying to tell us the story of a lonely girl out of trauma. She left her country and now she's back, battling with, okay, should I stay or should I go back? Yeah. What is it that we miss and all that? But inside, you now see a whole lot of, I don't know.
Somebody called it a music video.
I did when I was watching. I thought, okay, I know Tiwa is a music person.
Yeah.
Tiwa is a music person. So I was like, okay, is she trying to tell us she wants to shoot a music video with this film?
What do you have to say about the voiceover? Sorry for cutting you short.
No problem.
The voiceover.
Her voice was sweet. I must comment that.
Okay, I have a different.
No, her voice was very sweet, but there was no emotion in it.
Yeah, because I felt
even her facial expression when she was taking some lines, like everything was flat.
It wasn't tallying. The facial expression of the actors were not tallying with what they were saying. For example, when I say somebody, for example, I come to meet you and say, I lost my car.
Do you know why?
For example, I say I lost my car and I'm smiling. I lost my car.
Do you know why I started like, okay, when she met Stephanie lost her younger brother and just 3 months. The whole excitement they had was, I was like, not be this girl lost her brother.
The reason why I talked.
So I was like, okay, maybe she has come over it after 3 months.
Yeah.
But there's just this thing that took us off. It was later like, it was this girl that lost her brother. So I couldn't figure out that was why she came, probably to console her or something. That entire part of the story was lost, and the next thing we saw was the love story between her and Kay, which I also found faulty. Like Kay's past and his present, they were no match.
The story was just
Kay's past. The character that was used for Kay's past,
I think Kay's part was played by Afolarin.
Was so good.
The past was so better good.
And his present was washing. I was like, the guy's language, his diction in the past was beautiful. Was better. But in the present, I
think it was a Ghanaian accent in the present. More clearer English
in the past. And even the face, you saw a plumpy guy with a nice cheek, fat cheek. Not that he's very fat, but at least was looking a little bit plumpy. And in the present, maybe the video was taken as actually reducing him, but he was taller. The gap, I don't think the gap would change so much the person's features. Yeah, but one thing is, I will commend Tiwa. I can't totally wash her out. I will commend her for taking a bold step into the film industry. There were lots of wrong motivations in the film, and you trying to give us too many things. The next, I think at some point I saw police and corruption.
Exactly.
So I was not trying to. I was trying to match that scene with the entire story she was trying to say.
The team was. I think the team was just so scattered.
It was really scattered.
A whole lot of team. We just had a whole lot in one story. I think maybe the plan was to make it like a series.
I don't think that
maybe it would have worked if they made it as a series, because we had a whole lot of team.
And so many unresolved
conflicts. The stories were not concluding. We were not.
One particular one that was totally off was when she met a woman in the market, and the woman was talking about Mide, which was her younger brother who died, and she started thinking, it's like the trauma came back, and like Mide. I think the woman did not know that Mide had died, and there was nobody that know that Mide died, and everybody already knew in the story. So where was she? Is it that she was not around?
And from what we saw, she's like, everybody knew the woman from when they were younger. So
how come the woman will not know that Mide has died? So that particular scene, I couldn't tell what the director was trying to tell us, the audience.
In general, the story was not storying.
It was really
That's
not
how it was,
story.
but the
It
story
was
was
not. It
not.
was not
Because I
story.
think filmmaking is about story. It's about storytelling. You build a house, a beautiful house with substandard materials, and after building the house, you painted it with excellent materials, beautiful painting. This I'm not referencing this with the cinematography. Beautiful painting, artworks everywhere in the house. It will get to a time that you're going to start seeing cracks on the wall, and very soon that house is going to collapse.
At the end of the day, the story actually collapsed for me. Another aspect they brought out, I won't say another aspect, I believe that was the major aspect they wanted to talk about in the story. The love between Kay and Tiwa's character.
Yeah, and from what you're saying, you enjoyed the kissing scene.
I never did. It was the worst I watched. It was the worst kissing scene I've ever watched.
Which?
I'm just being sincere.
Which? The kissing scene was not bad.
It wasn't. It wasn't good for me. I don't know for you.
Or is it that you didn't like the boy and you don't like kissing? You got
First of all, the character selection was terrible. Bad actors. We had some bad actors.
Now we are going. That's the next.
We had some bad
that's
actors.
the next segment we are going into in this episode right now. The acting. At first, when I was watching it, I know that this is Tiwa's film. Even the look of the film alone will tell you that they spent a whole lot in making sure that film comes to the audience. Meaning, there would have been enough money to bring in any of our Nigerian stars, because some of the performances were not really, they were not given. To be honest, let's be honest. Because one of the reasons why you watch a film is to enjoy the performance of the actors.
Well,
aside the storytelling.
Okay.
But what do you have to say about the actor's performance?
The acting wasn't very good from majority of the actors. Like Kay, Tiwa herself, she was not too bad.
Personally,
but her character was flat.
She had one facial expression.
That's why I said it was flat. There was no modulation. Even in her delivery, there was no modulation. Nothing to tell us, okay, this is more intense and this is not intense. This is casual. This is funny.
Yeah.
So there was no modulation in her delivery. But that doesn't mean her voice wasn't sweet. sorry for coming. Yeah, so the actors, Kay was totally of it. The scene where they met the first time after 10 years wasn't given.
Because I think that scene should have carried the whole lot.
It wasn't given.
I understand that she was trying to run away from Kay when she and Jemima were at
even the running away from Kay was looking somehow off.
Because I think would have, because her expression was that she doesn't want to have anything to do with this boy, and that was why she was running. But when they met, it's as if okay,
that's aside the acting, and that's not the story. What you're saying now is not the story, because when they met after 10 years, the beginning told us that she was running from Kay. But in fact, it was as if she was not running from Kay, she was running from herself, not falling in love with Kay again. That's what it seemed.
That was what the story was telling. And
because she felt just a few minutes after meeting Kay again, and
so
like,
boy.
So how far?
What's going on here?
What's going on? Somebody you didn't like his behavior and everything. Just for once, you don't even do shakara as a babe. We don't come from US, but that's the storyline. Okay. That's different from now the acting
performance. Yeah.
The performance wasn't so good. Kay wasn't too good.
What about?
I'm not saying he wasn't good, but he wasn't too good. I'm not washing him down.
What about
the only people that stood out in the film? Probably would have stood out. Let me use would have, because the two characters we were playing with watered down their interpretation.
Who are they?
Jemima and Mike.
I think Mike was good.
Mike was good, but
I think Mike played the younger self of.
No, Mike played his own role. He didn't have a bigger version because he died.
No, Mike was the younger. Yeah, Mike was the brother. Oh yeah.
He was the brother that died.
Mike was the brother that died. Yeah.
So he didn't
not have
in the future.
Yes.
His role was
just in the past. Yes.
So he played his role, but the partner he was playing with, which is K younger self.
I think K younger self was even better than
It
his
was
present
better than
face. His younger
No,
self,
it was,
the
it
younger
was.
character played better than the older character.
Present, yes.
Yeah.
And the casting didn't match. It didn't match at all. The younger K was plumpy a bit, and the future K was lanky, all lanky, and was a total opposite of the.
He even had a better diction.
The younger self had a better diction, had a better English command. He had a better grammar, like it was beautiful. But the older self was as if they brought him from one jungle that did not know how to speak even pidgin. The only thing I found faulty about the younger K was his acting.
Okay. Which we are talking about now.
It wasn't so good. But his English was not bad.
Because we are trying to wrap up now. Like I said,
every other character in the film didn't play well.
The police was.
As if they told them action and decided delivering their lines.
Policeman,
I don't know where that is coming from. Like I said, I don't know where that scene came from.
Let's leave that police scene because
that scene wasn't needed.
Yeah, let's leave that police scene. Now,
that's why I said there were too many things.
Yeah, there were too many things. Now, even
you're trying to bring in corruption into this.
Yeah,
and that it wasn't challenging with Garri and Garri.
Yeah, it was. Everything was clashing.
If you wanted to talk about love itself, just tell us love.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about emotions or a psychological trauma, because it was gliding towards a psychological trauma.
There were so many unsettled, unresolved conflicts. There were so many unresolved conflicts.
We can't tell the genre of the film. If it was drama or psychological drama, like people would say, or one thing, the genre wasn't clear.
Now, still on the performance of the actors. Watching the film, you will know that they spent a whole lot.
They spent money.
More than $1 million.
I don't know, but they spent cool money.
It should be more than $1 million in making such. Now, that should tell that they should have been able to afford any excellent actor in Nollywood.
I don't know why they decided to cast.
So, but maybe that was the plan to use. Yeah, because we used about 2 Nollywood actors, which is Mike and Jemima. Now,
Tiwa included.
Tiwa.
She's an actor now.
Okay, Tiwa included.
She's an actor now.
I'm not sure that's her first movie.
I don't know, but that's the first I'm watching her act.
Okay, good. Now, which Nigerian actor do you think would have played K better?
The guy that acted, Gang of Lagos.
Which of them?
The
Toby
Bakari, yes.
Toby would have played
a better K
than K.
Than the lanky K. A better K, and it would have been probably fitting more for the past and present. If you're doing a film, do it. If you're doing a music video, do a music video.
What do you have? What's your final word for Water and Garri? Let the audience know.
Water and Garri is a beautiful film. Only if it was told the right way. It wasn't given the story it ought to give.
Do you mind scoring it over 10?
I don't have any rights to score anything.
Okay.
But I will only give you based on individual rights. I have the right to tell you I like this, I don't like this. You can decide not to take it.
Meaning you don't like Water and Garri?
Not so well. Not so well. I'll give it a 4.
Over 10.
Another thing I would love to say is, to all filmmakers, young and everybody, if you're telling a story based on the little experience or little knowledge one has, I believe every scene, every shot, every angle. This is also to myself. Because when I watch things like this, I relate to myself and think, what can you do better in this kind of situation? This film, to handle this thing, what would have been your approach? Everything you're telling us in your story, in your film, should tell the story of the film.
Yeah.
If you are bringing a character, please explain your character well.
Yeah.
Don't leave us in unnecessary suspense.
I think they left us in unnecessary suspense, yeah.
Give us, this character is this character, and this is why this character took this action. You might not reveal it from the beginning because of suspense, and you reveal it later. Anyhow you hope to reveal it, try reveal it. It's your film. Play around it. It's not rocket science. Play around it, but define a character. Define an action. Define a particular shot. There is a cup on this table. Why is that cup there?
Using Onome's words, define the character, define a scene, define an action, define a story. Every element you are bringing into your film should tell a story. This is the first episode of Feel at Home, and I'm so honored to have you as my first guest.
I'm honored too. Thank you so much.